there's that.
So whoa, Jinx.
So
No, we can't talk anymore.
Yeah, we can.
Podcast over.
You owe me a Coke.
What? I called Jinx.
So I've been watching a little bit of esports this week.
My man.
You've been watching a little bit of esports this week. My man. Tell me, what esports have you watched, and tell me about it.
Man, Genesis 4 is happening currently. By the time this airs, it'll be in the past.
Oh my god.
We're recording on Saturday. We just finished. Normal. It's not normal. But Sunday is top 8 Genesis 4, and I'm not missing that for crap.
Yeah, so it may be better that we recorded today.
Yeah, so I told my wife 3 weeks in advance, said Genesis 4 is happening this weekend. Do not plan anything for us. Mm-hmm. And I wrote on the calendar, and then every day up to here, she's like, oh, maybe we could do this and this. I'm like, you know what's happening.
No!
She's like, oh, I forgot. Every single day.
Esports.
So Genesis 4 is a combination of my favorite sport, which is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Mm-hmm. As well as there's Brawl there and Smash 4 and 64.
Sure. I mean, you can appreciate those for sure.
Yes. But Genesis 4 has a long standing of... So Genesis 1, there was... The Grand Finals was a set between Mango and Armada. That was one of the Armada's first U.S. tournaments, and everybody underestimated him. He made it to Grand Finals. Mm-hmm. In Winterside, Mango reset the bracket and then won on the reset.
I think I've seen the replay of that.
So that's incredible. Genesis 2... Armada wins Grand Finals over Mango.
Yeah.
So now they're 1-1. Genesis 3 happened last year, 2016, around this time, January. Armada won after Mango made an incredible losers bracket run where he beat...
H-Box?
He beat Hungrybox. He beat PPMD. Maybe Mewtwo King. I know he beat Axe. And then he reset the bracket on Armada. And then they went 3-1 and Armada won. So that was incredible. So now Armada is up 2-1 against Mango. Yeah. Everyone's hoping for the Armada-Mango Grand Finals. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited.
That'd be fun.
All my favorite Smashers are there except for PP&D, which sucks.
Yeah.
But so there's a doubles tournament and there's a singles tournament.
Sure.
And there's also Cruise. Cruise happened on the first day.
Yeah.
And I don't know who won that, but I think Mango's team won. It was technically Silent Wolf's team, and he picked Mango because it was Draft Cruise. Okay. So they have a list. So there's 8 different captains, and they have a list of all the Smashers, and they pick them in turn order.
Dang.
And then they go in a single elimination, and it goes to the Grand Finals, and there's prize money for whoever wins.
Sure.
Then doubles happens, and doubles, they went to top 4 today. That's what I was watching when you got over here.
Yeah, I saw those.
I don't remember who's in top 4 off the top of my head. I think Android and Armada are together. They're brothers, so they're in top 4. Pew Pew and SFAT, which is my favorite doubles team, is of course in, and they almost always win everything. They're fantastic. It's SFAT and Pew Pew, and their team name is PewFat, and it's awesome. Hungrybox and Mewtwo King, I believe, are in. They're teaming together, and Ice and Leffen are both in. Ice is from Germany, Leffen's from Sweden. I don't know how often they play, but they both play Fox. So that's top 4. Very exciting. The finals on that is happening on Sunday. They're still playing for top 64, I believe. Of Melee singles. And then they'll go to top 32. I think they'll go all the way to top 8 tonight, honestly. And then
tomorrow
Sunday is Championship Sunday for everything. So there's N64, which is first. Then there's either doubles or Smash 4. And then there's either doubles or Smash 4. Yeah. And then Melee top 8 is always the last one. Starts at... I don't know. I don't know the schedule in front of me. But I'm going to sit down and watch it. Yeah. Last time I watched Genesis Top 8... So, when I watch streams, a lot of time it's when I'm playing other video games.
Sure.
When I watched Genesis Top 8 last year, I literally just turned it on and didn't do anything else. I'm like, I'm so into this right now. Yep. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, I'm excited for you.
You should watch it.
I might watch the top 8 on Sunday.
You need to. Share my passion.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, definitely. And it can be entertaining. I find it hard to watch live sometimes because I'm just not around. I mean, that's like any sport.
That's true.
I try to do NBA games sometimes because I have an NBA team I follow. But I ranked, actually, in school this week for students. They said, what are your favorite sports to watch? And so I started writing the board, and the number 1 I put NBA because I've just always loved a certain team. I mean, NBA. Then I said NFL, though I don't really watch the NFL anymore. I used to a lot, but I really have stopped since I don't have TV and I don't care.
Yeah, of course. Although Super Bowl is coming up.
Then I put Overwatch.
Really?
Yeah, I put Overwatch. Then I put MLB, and then I put every other esport. But then when I thought about it, I was like, wait a second. I didn't pick Melee out of that big old bunch. That really would be up there with Overwatch. It would be one or the other. You know.
That's true. I would rather watch any esport over baseball.
So my roommate is really into baseball, and he's made me like appreciate the sport more after watching the Chicago Cubs all season, because he watched every game all season.
Wow.
He missed maybe like 5 games out of the whole season.
Going to a baseball game would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I've done that.
For sure, it is.
Definitely. You got to get the ballpark Frank.
Right. It's an experience.
You got to spill a little mustard on
American
it.
experience.
That's right. You got to... So that's different, but watching it on TV is just... It's a snore. It's a snooze fest.
Snooze fest.
So if I had to rank them...
Yeah. What would you
Melee,
say?
number 1.
Dude, for you, easy.
Melee, number 1, and then NFL, but only specific teams. And then... I would probably have in the same line, like, NBA, and then... I think NBA first, maybe tied with Overwatch.
Okay.
And then Call of Duty I like to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
When there's a tournament on. And then it would probably be every other esport. Because a lot of esports I don't understand. Like Dota 2, I'll watch, and I'll know a little bit because I play Smite.
Yeah,
and
you can tell it's impressive.
I can tell what's happening.
Yeah.
But if someone was to do like... So if ESPN did a top 10 plays of the year for esports, half of them would be MOBAs. And I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yep.
And I love esports. Think about this, the normal guy that doesn't understand what's happening.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's how I felt so in college, I got really into StarCraft replays.
Yeah.
Husky StarCraft on YouTube. I watched that every day.
Yeah, you did.
For a while.
Yeah, you did.
And people would walk in, and they'd just be seeing me. I'm just sitting there like, attached to the screen, like watching this really intense battle on StarCraft 2, and they're just like, you're such a nerd. I'm like, do you not see how impressive this is? Because that's when, in college, I tried to do, like, rank play. Yeah. The highest I ever got was gold.
Nice.
Which I thought was good. But then I started watching people play. Like, my cousin actually played a lot. And he made it to, like, the second to highest bracket. And
Masters?
And he tried really hard to, like, break through. And he would, like, put streams up on Twitch, and I'd watch him sometimes.
Nice.
And just, like, super impressive how much better he is than me. Like, so much better.
Yeah.
And there's a certain level where like you want to improve on any game you're playing, right? Like any shooter I play, I try to get better.
Yep.
Regardless of if I do or not. And maybe there's a cap out somewhere. But you'd like to think that, oh man, if I really applied myself, I could be this good. But then you watch the players and you're like, I don't know if I could ever be that good. And even if, and to be that good, you have to have so much commitment. And that's what's impressive is like the mental fortitude behind esports that people don't think about.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The mental focus.
So streamers stream for like 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you're just sitting down in front of your screen and you're just sitting there all day. But one, sitting down can be exhausting.
It can.
2, you have to put out so much physical effort
and
to
energy.
be entertaining.
Right.
For 10 hours straight.
And you're staring at a screen, which hurts your... Like, I've had times at school before where I've stared at my computer
and you
too
get
long.
a headache. You're like,
I get a headache.
I gotta get up and walk around.
It can trigger migraines for me.
Yeah.
And so, like, I need breaks from like, bright screens sometimes. Like, when I do big, gaming sessions, like, after about 4 hours, I'm like, I need to stand up. I need to walk a little bit, go outside, look far distances for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just rest the eyes a bit.
Give them a break.
Yeah. So, I
put Halo on my list. I forgot about Halo. Halo's fun to watch.
I'm sure it is. I don't think I've ever watched Halo esports, though.
It's one of the oldest.
I know. Well, I played Halo a bunch.
Yeah, we did.
That was the classic party game.
Ayo.
Bring over your Xbox, we'll system link up on some TVs and
still do that.
And we'll do two. That's what I was trying to say the whole time.
What are you trying to say?
Do 2 different TVs so you can't screen look.
Okay, that's
screen hackers.
That's a strategy.
That's not it.
That's a valid strategy.
We should just get big cardboard boxes and cut out.
We could.
Fourths so people can't look other than their quarter of the screen.
We could. That's a possibility. You've been watching.
Yeah.
An esport.
I have been watching an esport.
What have you been watching?
I've been watching the Overwatch Winter Premiere.
Yeah.
Which is ongoing right now.
Ooh.
And the reason I did that is because I've always enjoyed like getting on YouTube, and when I play a game, I'll throw up Overwatch replays on YouTube. Or if I'm on Twitch, which doesn't happen very often, but when I am, I almost always go to Overwatch because I just really enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. I think it's well made and I think it's fun.
Seagull's an awesome Twitch streamer, although he doesn't stream that very often. He's a professional player.
So in the process, my goal kind of when I clicked on the winter premiere, I think you had tweeted me about watching Genesis 4 or something, and then I Snapchatted back, I think.
Oh yeah.
I was watching Overwatch and it was on Twitch. Because someone had tweeted that the winter premiere had started. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to watch that. So I started watching it. And I thought, you know what, this is a good time. I'm gonna watch the winter premiere.
Yeah.
And from this, I'm gonna choose a team that I want to follow.
Yep.
And maybe from that too, I could find individual players that I enjoy watching too, and that I could root for. And so I probably watched the first night probably an hour, and then today I've watched like 3 hours on YouTube of the stuff I missed.
Yeah.
And I will say that I may have found a new favorite player.
Oh.
Based off his play against Complexity. So Renegade, there's a team called Renegade.
All right.
And on Renegade, there's this team member called Mangachu.
Okay.
And he was crushing the other team. It was nuts. They were like the underdogs in the match that I was watching. Yeah. It was like phase 2, day 2.
Not favored to win.
Not favored to win. They went up against Complexity. Complexity already had it like almost locked in to go on to the finals round. Mm-hmm. And Renegade needed to like win the next like 2 rounds. Like it was a round robin, so they had to win a certain amount to do it, and it also depended on other teams losing. Pool. So they were kind of in like a weird situation.
Yeah, pool play.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, Mangachu, he was like clutch, like 4 times when in like different battles and fights, and like won games. And the first defense, the announcers were all talking about how.
Do you remember what level?
It was on Dorado.
Okay.
Yeah, Dorado, where they're bringing the payload up to the top, whatever. I don't know I can't remember what the end is called. But he picked Torbjorn, and they already had a Symmetra.
What a scrub.
And the announcers were like, "This is the dumbest idea."
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't say it that way, but they're like, "This is really risky of them to try this." Yada
High risk, high reward.
But then
business over here.
Symmetra put down a shield generator.
Ayo.
Torbjorn armored up their entire team, and Torbjorn was like crushing it with his shot placement. Like
he does an incredible output of damage
if you can hit.
Yeah.
And like I saw him like he like headshotted a Pharah out of the air. Oh, it was sick.
Got him.
Man, it was just like, and they didn't make it to the first point.
Complexity didn't make it?
Complexity didn't make it in that first match.
Oh, yeah? Where did he put his turret?
He put it, like, at their... You know how the doors are at the bottom? The 3 doors, I guess, from the church bells and everything. Like, you go through. He put it in the back corner as they came out. And they, like, immediately destroyed it. And he, like, barely used a turret.
Yeah, that's a weird placement.
Yeah. Like, he, like, didn't really use the turret at all.
Why wouldn't you put it somewhere?
I don't know.
Did he put another one up?
He did at one point. I think he put one up around where the stalls are, around the circle.
Yeah.
As they go up the hill.
Okay.
But he didn't like spend a lot of time with it. Like a lot of players, when I play at low level skill, like where I'm at now,
they just put the turret down and they
hide behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
But Torbjorn, I don't think he's like that. Like you also, I don't know how much they spectated him, but did you ever watch him like get into a tight situation and then throw down armor for himself and like double his health?
Mm-mm. Like, I didn't see that. No.
Like that's a sick Torbjorn play.
Yeah.
Is when you realize you have enough armor and someone's chasing you, throw down the armor. It doesn't quite double your health, but if you only have 75
but it
health,
makes you way more survivable.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you just get around the corner and then you're safe.
Yeah.
Super fun.
So yeah, it was some impressive play, and then he played Pharah once and like got behind the enemy team and wiped 4 of them in like one. It was ridiculous. One magazine of rockets or something. They were all on top of each other.
Classic Pharah.
It was amazing. And then he also played Mei and got some like sick Mei
My
play.
girl.
Like perfect ice wall placements, and then with that just some great. And it's like Torbjorn and Mei both have kind of like delayed shots to some extent. They don't travel the same. Like Mei's takes a second to fire.
Yep.
So that one's kind of weird. And Torbjorn's like has a drop to it.
Yes, it has an arc that I don't think
weird.
anybody else has.
Yeah, it definitely not. And so it was cool because he was getting headshots with Mei too from like far away, and just like it's just really cool to see high level play with support characters.
Yeah, dude.
And Pharah, because I like Pharah. Like,
I don't play Mei as support though.
I know you don't.
I normally go in.
I know. I mean, you can do a lot of. I mean, you can do some.
Mei does a lot of damage too. It's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, it was just really impressive. So Mangachu, like I'm putting him on my list as a player that I like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to specifically follow him, like I don't know, like you would Mango or Armada, because I don't think that it's that clear. The way that Overwatch is, I don't know if there is like this is the best player of all time. It's team based, so I think teams would be better to follow. But he is a player that I've enjoyed watching, and I even followed him on Twitter because I was like, "You're awesome."
Did you tweet at him? You say you're awesome?
I haven't yet, but he only
English?
had like 3,000. Yeah, he's from Canada.
Oh.
He only has like
French.
3,000. No, he's not from Quebec. Come on. Quebec. So that was cool. Final Four is in 2 days.
What team is he on?
He's on Renegades.
Oh,
They
okay.
did not make it to the Final Four.
Lame.
No. Complexity made it. Lumosity Gaming, Immortals, and Kungara made it. And Kungara was another one of those like underdog teams that kind of came back and won.
Yeah.
Some matches, at least from from the 3-4 hours that I've watched it, they seem to be seen as an underdog. And Complexity and Lumosity were both teams that they consistently said were good. So
nice. Yeah. Complexity and Luminosity are really good. Cloud9, I don't remember. I'm not really into the Overwatch scene as much. Did you learn anything? Did you take notes? Mental notes?
I feel like I've learned a lot about playing Overwatch from watching like how the pros do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just there's a whole lot. There's a big importance on team synergy, or like the team working together as one whole unit, as opposed to just being an individual person. And it has a lot to do with game awareness too, because there are some players that you need to go play as an individual. Like you need to get around the side, be a flanker or something where you're not going to be like all bottled up together. Thinking like Pharaoh, you can get behind.
So a Tracer.
Or like Tracer, or I mean, if
Genji.
in a special situation, Genji. Though I didn't see any Genji play in the entire tournament so far, because I think he's out of meta. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just cool to see game awareness from like a spectator's point of view,
mm-hmm.
and see the decision making process of some of the players, with knowing more than what they know, because I can see everything.
Yeah.
Seeing
Isn't it crazy? Because they always have the outlines,
mm-hmm.
and they always know exactly when someone's going to peek the corner.
Yep.
Even without, like, the players don't have the outlines.
Sure.
But you can see through the walls because you're in spectator mode.
Yeah.
And they always know when someone's going to peek.
Just about.
Yeah.
I mean, just timing wise, like they know how long the respawn times are, and too, a lot of them just consistently throw, because you have unlimited ammo. They just consistently throw fire down into choke points. And teams use really weird attack angles. Like, they would use a different path than what, I'd be accustomed to
mm-hmm.
taking on, like, Dorado, for instance. Up at the second point, before you go inside to finish mm-hmm. it off. The team, like, wrapped around the church up on the top. There's, like, that top ramp on the right side as you're looking at the enemy spawn, or the defender spawn. The whole team came across that top part and then came down to try and move the payload all the way to the second point. So it's just like weird stuff. It was like slightly past the mini hill.
Okay.
Where the bank is. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, that way they have height advantage.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And so there's just like a lot of different uses of the map that I haven't seen.
It's interesting because that would obviously take so much longer than going straight to the point.
Sure.
But how much advantage do you have with the height advantage as opposed to just trickling in?
It's just a much more effective push.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the use of time used well.
Yeah.
And used advantageously. And I mean, people would sometimes players would just jump off the map because their whole team's gone and they want to respawn and reset with everyone.
They want to reset, but also that doesn't.
It doesn't charge their ults.
Yeah, the enemy team's ults.
Yeah.
And there's a little something to be said about them just throwing down damage at choke points, because
mm-hmm.
that also charges the supports ults. But the pros are so good they're going to kill the supports. Not all the time before they get to use them, but that's always their number one target.
I don't think the number one
players,
priority is there. Yeah.
Yeah, casual players will throw down damage at the chokes, and then they won't kill anybody. And then the supports on the enemy team will
get
have
reses
ults.
and everything.
Yeah. So that's one of the frustrating things I see.
Yeah.
Choose your targets wisely.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing. Pros, they just need to get a little opening and everyone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
Yeah, it's so crazy how quickly a battle can turn.
Yeah.
One way or the other. So it's just really impressive. I'm excited to watch the Final Four go at it tomorrow or Monday, I think it is.
It's probably Sunday. Most championships are on
I mean, I went to the website, it said 2 days, so maybe it is. I don't know. I'm going to be paying attention. If I miss it the live, I'll watch it on YouTube.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's esports I've been watching.
So on to our topics of the Today show.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.